Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we live full-time here in this 24-foot toy hauler. And today we're going to kick off the summer season. We're very excited. It's South Texas and we're headed to the beach in our former full-time living arrangement,
which is a truck camper. We lived in it for about a year and now it's become our expedition vehicle.
We live in both of them, and now it's nice to be able to hop back and forth between the two from the campground we're currently staying at. And we're very excited to go try something brand new for us today.
It's a stand-up jet ski.
So we're going to hook that on the front of our truck camper and we're going to head to the beach and take you guys with us.
Come on, let's go enjoy the summer sun.
Probably do a little fishing too.
Mona, are you ready? Are you ready for adventure?
You ready to go to the beach?
Are we going to the beach?
Let's go get in the truck.
Come on. This truck. Not the truck, this truck. Come on. Good girl.
So as always on this old Queen, something's always breaking. It's a 25-year-old truck. I hate repetitive noises. That's a fun fact about me. And that is the parking brake sound because the cable just snapped. So the only way to let it not make that sound while we're driving is to reach down and hold the parking brake up to where there's no tension on it. Have to get that looked up because it's a manual. So you can't really not have a parking brake with a manual. All right, off to a good start with this old sloppy Queen.
Not you.
So where we used to have a CRF 300 on the front hitch hauler, we now have a hitch hauler for the jet ski because there's, again, nowhere to ride a dual sport in Texas, but there is a place to go ride this. So we're gonna go ahead and get this hooked up, and then to launch it in the sand, we have this little aluminum trailer that doesn't weigh anything. And the cool thing about this is we can put it in the back of our truck camper because the wheels, they just pin on. And then all this comes apart with cotter pins. No bolts, all aluminum. And this thing will break down really small and go into the back door of our camper, and we can go launch this thing by hand into the surf because it's supposed to be pretty calm today. So
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
Because this will also be our first learning experience on a stand-up jet ski in the ocean from the surf. So double fingers crossed.
Foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
If you are unfamiliar with stand-up jet skis, as I am,
welcome to the exciting water sport of jet skiing.
They're much harder to ride because you have to balance and use a lot of knee and leg work and arm work. It's just much more difficult than a sit-down jet ski where it's kind of like riding a couch.
Toning your body, developing balance, coordination, and stamina are just a few of the rewards.
It is for sure a learning curve that we're getting ready to jump into today.
Would it be better to test this in a lake? Of course, but the closest lakes to us are actually non-boatable at the moment. So we're just hoping that this is calm enough today to try and ride.
We have these self-ratcheting ratchet straps, kind of like a seat belt, that attach to the front and to the back to keep it from sliding this way, and then to keep it from coming up, we put one more ratchet strap, and that should be good. And now you just have to get used to this. That's just the slop in the hitch. That's, of course, exacerbated by the distance from the point that it's actually wiggling. Inside the hitch, it's only wiggling, an eighth of an inch. By the time you get out to here, it's like an inch or two, and it looks very unnerving. But
it's all secured very tightly.
It's not actually moving off the rails, which you think it is. So that's that. Now we just got to throw the trailer in the back of our camper and we can get to the beach.
Well, and zip tie the emergency brake.
Oh yeah, we got to do that first. Always an emergency repair. We go through more zip ties, I bet, than any other channel on YouTube. Fits right in there.
Whoa. Boink.
Here we go. Now there's a jet ski trailer inside of our truck camper. How cool is that? All right, to make that sound go away, we are going to zip tie this thing together for a temporary fix. So for more how-tos just like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Looks good. We got no emergency brake light on, so we should be good to head down the road. so this is the second place we've tried. We tried a beach access about 10 miles north of here, and it was so full of people that you literally could not fit a vehicle in, so let alone jet ski riding or enjoying yourself. So we found a different spot. We're about 10 miles south, and we have our trailer unloaded, and we're gonna try to put the jet ski in. Little apprehensive about it because it is much rougher than the weather report said. The wind really picked up, and there's nothing like trying a new hobby in the ocean that you don't even really know how to do. So we'll see how this goes. A lot of sargassum in the surf. I thought that wasn't there yesterday when we advanced kind of checked this out. So everything's kind of working against us, but YOLO.
Windows down with the AC blasting, that sun and smile feel everlasting. Trading in this pavement for whatever changing sand. It's a wild ride to the bottom, but the cheeks are getting tan. It's ours to get to nowhere, but we got nowhere to be. There's a 9 to 5 waiting, but not today. It's just candy and the sea. Candy and the sea. Got the Ford China box and little sweet pea.
That's Mona.
Just candy and the sea.
How was it?
Okay, I have been checked. I have been fraud checked. I thought this was gonna be easy. Even though it was a little rough out there, it would be something I could just immediately do. And it is not. And I think that's good to, like, maybe once a year do something completely brand new to you that you are very bad at, and it like makes your brain want to learn something new or do something different. So that was a lot of fun, but very difficult in this choppy surf. I wish we could try on a flat lake or on a nice flat day, but we work with what days off we have. Extremely exhausting. That was a 15-minute long pull-up is all that was. If you're not familiar with these newer 4-stroke wave runners, they're about 150 pounds heavier than the old 2-strokes, maybe more than that. And so we are very glad, as you saw us try to struggle to put it back on this trailer, that we got the $45 winch option so we can hand crank it up. Otherwise, I don't know how we would have done that. Anyways, that was exhausting. I told Elizabeth, who is the camera operator right now, that I don't recommend her doing that. It is very rough, and you need to be able to do a pull-up pretty much for 15 minutes. Because if you fall off, there's nobody coming to get you, and the Sea-Doo or jet ski is going somewhere else. So, because we only have one.
I've been thinking on it while he's been back for a few minutes, and I'm not gonna try it. I don't want to let go of this thing, so if you notice in the drone footage, every time Chris fell off, he kept his hand on this, and I can't guarantee that I can do that. Also, I can only do 6 pull-ups. I think I would get tired out even faster. I don't think it's a good idea. I'd rather try like a lake or something than, or just a much calmer day than this. So I'm gonna dip out, but I'm kind of sad because I got my little wetsuit on and everything for it, but another day.
Well, we do have a consolation prize, and that exists not here, little Mona, but back here in this little box right here.
What do you mean consolation prize?
What I have devised here is a good way to trick if you have someone in your life that does not want to go to the beach very often or do fun things, is you get a fun tackle box and then you make it into a Snackle box.
What? When did you make this? Oh, not to say that I fall into the category of people that don't like going outside and doing things, but this just shifted the mood completely. And before we dive into that, we want to thank our sponsor, fishingbooker.com.
If you've noticed, it's the middle of the day. That's not the greatest time in the world to fish. So if you want to actually catch fish, unlike us, which are getting ready to whip fish bites into the ocean and catch nothing but hardhead catfish, you should probably check out Fishing Booker and get on with somebody who really knows what they're doing.
Fishing Booker is the largest platform for fishing charters worldwide.
This means you can book a fishing charter in your own backyard or add it to the itinerary for your next destination vacation.
Just in Corpus Christi, there are over 250 charters to choose from. So luckily, Fishing Booker has verified captains and reviews to help you choose the right fishing adventure. Better yet, you can see the prices. We are excited to share that if you book through our link, you will receive a $50 credit towards your first trip. Check out fishingbooker.com/candy if you're even thinking about a trip. Give it a peruse. You can also download their free app and book anytime, anywhere.
Looks like we might need to get on the app, little girl. Does that smell good?
It's like Dollar General store charcuterie. We have Slim Jims, we have Old Bay seasoned goldfish, we have honey grams, we have wasabi peas, we have fig Newtons, we have Welch's fruit snacks, we have once and again sunflower butter pre-made sandwiches, we have pickles, we have some mild jalapeno. This actually will probably be our actual lunch. Tuna and crackers, little combo kit. Mona has her cup of green beans, which she absolutely loves. And then we have some Capri Suns. And if we feel a little feisty, we have some cucumber vodka and a little grapefruit vodka there to make it a true charcuterie, white trash charcuterie.
White trash charcuterie. If you have not had these Old Bay goldfish, you are missing out. I will die on this hill that this is the best flavor of goldfish that exists, and they're limited edition, and they've only been in our local grocery store for the past month, so I don't know how long they're gonna last, but be on the lookout for them at a grocery store. They are the most flavor-packed goldfish that I've ever had.
That is a much needed break. I can't emphasize enough how that felt like doing like a CrossFit workout, which I don't CrossFit. I could definitely do a Pacific Chill right now.
If you didn't notice going on in the background, there are people everywhere. Unfortunately, with my job change, it was a change in schedule. We used to have off Mondays and Tuesdays, which was really nice because it cut down the people by like half or more. And now we are in the throes of people.
Trying to get away from people, which is usually my sole goal, it's almost impossible. It's the beach, it's summertime, everybody's on vacation and out of school. So we're gonna have to figure out how to film around that. If there are some locations that you think you could reach from South Texas in a few days of leave, go ahead and drop them in the comments because we're open to new ideas. Defeated by the ocean, but rewarded by the Snackle box. I think this might be a reoccurring thing on the channel we were talking about. We've wanted to do this, but we've actually made these before.
We've made the Snackle box 3 times, and every time it's been bad weather.
And you've never seen it on camera, but yeah, we've been doing it a while. And then you can just change the ingredients of your Snackle box to make it exciting. So even if you're striking out with whatever you're trying to film or catch or whatever you're trying to do, you can always have a fun Snackle box to come back to. Do you want your snack? As always, Mona's always included. She is allergic to literally everything, but it's okay because she absolutely loves vegetables. Just holding it so she don't tip it in the sand.
That's so nice. You're so kind.
Being a good wingman. Holding her hair back for her. Is that good green beans?
Oh, she want to eat the cup.
real sargasmic experience out here in the Gulf. I didn't think there was going to be this much sargassum. We've had like 3 big waves of it down here this year. It's like we almost can't escape it. I know it's good for the environment and stuff, but this is getting to be oppressive with the sargassum. All you do is fill up your lines with it, and so just a very sargasmic experience here. Hopefully your fishing trip's better than this.
On the fishing front, the sargassum does suck because it just clogs up the line and the hook. But you can find fun little things in the sargassum, and its structure, so it's drawing a lot of little fish. So I think we can catch some in a cast net or just kind of like sort through the sargassum and see what it's at least bringing in, even if we're not getting it on a hook and line. Most people that sort through the sargassum, they have like a clear jug or something. We don't have that in the camper, so I found this nice silver metal bowl. But almost immediately, we found these guys. These are actually called blue buttons, and they're not jellyfish. They do have tentacles and they do have stinging cells, but they don't really hurt. They might cause like a mild irritation. Unless you were to eat it, then probably not so good. But these are washing up all over in the sargassum, and they don't get much bigger than this. But very cool little things. When I was rinsing the sargassum out though, there's also these tiny, tiny little shrimp. So these are like little floating islands of food for any of the fish that are around this area, even the small bait fish, which we've been catching in the cast net.
Sargassum crabs.
He doesn't have any little claws on him. It's pretty. So Chris and I have taken turns with the cast net, and we see these little schools of pompano, which is super cool. I've never caught these in a cast net before. Maybe it's more common than I think. But they're all hovering around these little sargassum mats that are floating up near the shore. We also caught this little guy. And this guy. None of these I would be using for bait, but they are fun to catch in the cast net because they all look the same when you just see them darting around in the shallow water. So we'll put these guys back. We have failed as dog parents because we forgot a toy of any sort for the dog to play fetch. So now we must scavenge. I won't say she's the most upset because she found a rotten coconut to try to eat earlier, which is disgusting. If you don't know what rotten coconut smells like, it's like bad blue cheese. Oh. There's a reason why Chris does most of the fishing, and that's because I touched this one time for 5 minutes. And it did this. So I think I'm not allowed to touch this for the rest of the day. It is getting dark, and the sargassum is all that we're catching, so we might call quits on the fishing and maybe go sit in a hot tub. Do you want to go sit in a hot tub?
AC blasting, that sun and smile feel everlasting, trading in this pavement for ever-changing sand. It's a wild ride to the bottom, but the cheeks are getting tan. It's ours to get to nowhere, but we got nowhere to be. There's a 9 to 5 waiting, but not today. It's just candy and the sea, candy and the sea. Got the Ford China box and little sweet pea.